So there's been this back and forth going around with women and incels on TikTok, and it just has been hilarious to see, because you would think that the incels would be the losing people in this, you know, debate, but no, it's the women. The women on here are absolutely embarrassing themselves, and it's just hilarious to see. Like, no, y'all gotta see this. Y'all have to see this.
I'm Slenderman. Find my pages. Listen to my voice and you'll find the key.
I'm pro Jared and I cheated on my wife.
Like, maybe because they're involuntarily celibate. Fucking dumbass. Like, do you want them to look like this? Because then they wouldn't be an incel. Okay, this was the video in the intro, and there's just so much to fucking unpack in this one. So, first of all, this person's talking about the constant misogyny, and how it's undermined, and how men, you know, commit violent crimes against women, which is a good point. You know, it's a really good point. But then to say that it's because of incel culture, and then to say that you can't complain about it because men have it harder because of hypergamy, which even if it was real, like, there's actually so much to unpack here.
Oh my God,
First of all, incelism, let me get this straight now. Incelism isn't misogynistic inherently, okay? Incelism just means being involuntarily celibate, as I said, which could be because, and involuntarily, you don't choose to be an incel, this just happens, okay? This just happens. And the reason it happens is because you could be poor, the reason it happens is because you could be unattractive, or just anything that women do not desire. You could be autistic, you know, just anything that women usually don't desire could be the reason you're involuntarily celibate, and this happens. There has been men who have died virgin, okay? So to say that incelism isn't real and hypergamy isn't real is really disrespectful, and it just underlies a really stupid problem when it comes to feminism. Look, I'm a feminist, but people think that feminism is when men prey on women, and women are just incapable of also giving it to the patriarchy, okay? Women do not put personality over looks most of the time, and this is evident through the hear me out trends, celebrity crushes, and all type, you know, all that type joint, okay? It's true that women put looks or hold looks to some certain degree, and this is true for men too, but you have to realize that women also do this, and it's not just because women will say, well, you know, what about men that won't date ugly women, or what about men who won't date fat women, right? And this is true, this happens, but then to go and turn around and say that, you know, this doesn't happen to men, or like hypergamy isn't real, you're literally defeating the point. Okay, so this person saying, you know, even if it was real, this doesn't even compare to misogyny. Like, it's nothing compared to the incel cultures. Like, I don't know. And I feel like people need to separate, you know, what an incel is and the culture, because incelism it doesn't really have a lot to do with black pill on its own. A lot of these things get, you know, tied up together. And even black pill isn't inherently misogynistic either, until, you know, people started grifting it, like Clav and, you know, all those stupid idiots. But not denying that incels can't be misogynistic, not denying that black pill isn't, you know, can't be misogynistic, but I am saying that you guys are very uneducated on what an incel is. You're acting like this is a term that men just put on themselves as an excuse to be mean to women, you know, because we're just so oppressed and all that, which, you know, we are oppressed, but men are also oppressed too. Like, I feel like we forget that, yes, they're overrepresented in most leading forces, okay? Yes, it's more man on woman than woman on man, but to say that it's just men aren't affected by these things is really disrespectful. To say that men aren't affected by the patriarchy is completely wrong. You guys do need to realize that feminism is women equal to man, and not woman over man. Because if you guys thought it was men equal to women, you would address the problems that harm men too, which is this dandy little chart over here, which I feel like if it was more realistic, there would be both genders and they're showing the exact same thing, but I do think it's more evident with women. Another thing that's really bothering me as well on this topic is women infiltrating these incel spaces and getting it completely wrong. Okay, so there's been women saying that, you know, before there was looks maxing, they were, you know, 8 years old, and, you know, even though that's not really what looks maxing is, there's women saying, you know, calling people short-lit and using, you know, black pill incel terms and then just using it completely wrong. Like, lit means lacking something. You know, if you're calling someone short lit, you're basically complimenting them. I feel like you would have got that from the whole hip lit thing. Like, hip lit, you're hipless. I feel like you should have picked up on that. But you know, women claim to be annoyed when men come into their spaces and start changing things, but then women will go and do the exact same thing when it comes to looks maxing and bone smashing and all. You know, I saw this post the other day of this girl talking about how she's bone smashing in the corner or something, and it's like, dude, like, not to be the guy, but like, holy fake Sal, like, Larp swore, no you're not, no you're not. And it's just to appeal to these men as well. They're doing this to appeal to these same incels, but I don't even think it's working, to be honest. Like, women, a lot of women like to do this where they just infiltrate like really toxic-ish spaces to get male validation. Like, for example, Nazi, you know, women who dress up as Nazis and say racial slurs and stuff like that, they do that for male validation. It's the same thing with this, where now they're calling themselves femcels and, you know, all to appeal to this type of guy. And here's the thing. A lot of women don't like incels because they consider them to be misogynistic, and then they'll go and glamorize being a femcel and never once question if femcels are misandrist. You know, for example, like, I don't know, something about this just, like, just shut it down, just shut it down. Honestly, I feel like this war has to stop. I feel like women just need to start being a little bit more understanding when it comes to incels, and I feel like incels need to come out, and I mean the real incels need to come out and start having their voices be, because the incel culture is being represented loudly by stupid idiots who are just here to LARP and turn people away. So I feel like at the end of the day, man, like, I feel like we just all need to get along. At the end of the day, I feel like we need to solve problems in the dating space in general, because I feel like as time has gone on, it is just really bad, like, really, really bad. Like, the dating space is horrible. Most relationships don't last. Like, before, back in the day, you'd get a girlfriend in high school and you'd stay with her for the rest of your life. You'd marry her and you'd be happy. Now it's like, you know, you go through talking stages, and then, oh, this one didn't work, and, oh, he cheated, and all this stuff. You know, that's just like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we just need to fix these problems in general. I feel like this incel thing would be fixed if we just fixed the dating spaces in general and how Gen Z and all these newer generations interact with each other, because we don't really interact. Like, we're a bunch of loners. Like, we get the least, we're the most connected, but we're also the most least connected. It's really weird. But yeah, anyways, just want to rant about that. I haven't made a video in a month.